The morning sun had barely peered over Manhattan's skyline when the studio of Live with Kelly and Mark buzzed like a beehive jolted awake too soon. Interns scurried with coffee trays, producers whispered frantically into headsets, and in the makeup room, Mark Consuelos sat calmly flipping through cue cards as though he were the only person in the building not experiencing a mild existential crisis. "Mark," shouted Andy, the floor manager, appearing in the doorway with frantic energy, "has Kelly checked in?" Mark shook his head. "Not yet." "Why? Don't tell me someone lost the makeup sponsor again." "It's not that." Andy gulped. "It's, you'll see." The cryptic warning hung in the air like an unfinished sentence. Mark shrugged it off and went back to the briefing notes. It was just another weekday live broadcast, cooking segment, celebrity interview, some topical discussions, maybe a dog in a Halloween costume. Nothing could possibly shake him before 9 a.m. Or so he thought. At 8:47 a.m., precisely 13 minutes before the show's opening music was scheduled to cue, the studio doors whipped open. A gust of cold January air followed a petite whirlwind of blonde hair and indignant muttering. Kelly Ripa, marching with purpose, wearing, well, half an outfit. Quite literally half. On her right side, a fully glam look. Sparkling pink pump, sleek fitted trouser leg. A blouse perfectly steamed and tucked, hair curled to glossy perfection. On her left side, sweatpants, a sneaker, one sock rolled unevenly, a tank top, and a jacket sleeve dangling like a limp flag of surrender. Her hair on that side was clipped up with what appeared to be a pen. Everyone froze, including Mark, who raised one eyebrow so significantly it might have violated a union rule. "Morning," Kelly declared brightly, as if she weren't styled like the embodiment of a split personality. The room burst into movement, interns colliding with makeup artists who collided with producers, all converging on Kelly like emergency first responders. Kelly brushed them off, walking straight toward Mark. "Before anyone says anything, I can explain." "Oh good," Mark said, leaning back in his chair, "because I'm dying to know how you managed to dress like a red carpet event and a gym commute at the same time." Kelly dropped her tote bag onto the table with a thud. "It's not my fault. Blame the elevator." "The elevator dressed you?" Mark deadpanned. "No, the elevator trapped me. For 45 minutes, with a dog." "A dog?" he asked. "A Saint Bernard. A Saint Bernard who drooled like it was being paid by the gallon." She continued, pacing. "It sat on my left side. Just plopped down. All drool, all morning breath, all slobbery affection." Mark snorted. "So the dog undressed you?" "No, I undressed myself." She stopped, reconsidered. "Okay, wait, that sounds worse. Let me rephrase." She didn't get a chance. The producers swooped in like birds circling fresh food. "Kelly, sweetie, we don't have time for a full costume change," the head stylist fretted, tugging at the mismatched outfit. "We need a plan." Kelly held up her hands. "Listen. Life gave me lemons. Actually, a dog gave me drool. But I can work with this. We're doing the show like this." Mark blinked twice. "We're doing the show like that?" "Of course. It's relatable," Kelly insisted. "Everyone in America has had at least one morning where they've arrived somewhere half ready. School drop-off? Half ready. Zoom meeting? Half ready. Wedding? Hopefully not, but probably half ready." The producer hesitated. "But sponsors will love this," she declared. "Authenticity builds connection. And my God, is there anything more authentic than being sat on by a Saint Bernard and sprinting to work like a gremlin?" Mark nodded slowly, amused. "I mean, when you're right, you're right." At 8:59:30 a.m., the countdown began. The audience, just now seeing Kelly's two-faced wardrobe, erupted in laughter and applause. Mark leaned toward her at the desk. "I can't believe you're doing this." Kelly adjusted her hair, both halves of it. "Mark, the show must go on. Preferably with deodorant, but we don't always get what we want." The theme music swelled. The cameras swooped in, the lights brightened. "And, we're live in 5, the director called." The moment the red light blinked on, Kelly straightened, placed her perfectly manicured right hand on the desk, and smiled as though nothing unusual had happened whatsoever. "Good morning, everyone," she chirped. "I am Kelly Ripa, and this is my very patient husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos." Mark gestured to Kelly's outfit. "And in case you're new here, this is not an optical illusion. The audience roared. Kelly leaned forward conspiratorially. Kids, today's show is brought to you by unpredictability, perseverance, and a dog I would like to personally nominate for the position of most invasive elevator companion. Mark laughed so hard he nearly dropped his cue cards. Tell them what happened. Kelly launched into the story with theatrical flair. The elevator, the St. Bernard, the drool, the desperate attempt to save at least half an outfit. The audience hung on every word, giggling each time she gestured with her mismatched sleeves. And then, Kelly concluded dramatically, I said to myself, Kelly, you can either be late, or you can be lopsided. But you cannot be both. Mark wiped his eyes, still chuckling. America, please appreciate the commitment here. Kelly smirked. Commitment? Mark, darling, I don't do things halfway. She paused, looked down at herself, except today. The rest of the show became an unplanned comedy masterpiece. In the cooking segment, the chef handed Kelly an apron, only long enough to cover her already dressed half. The celebrity guest took selfies with formal Kelly and casual Kelly on either side. The dog trainer who came for the pet rescue segment insisted the St. Bernard incident was a sign that Kelly's spirit attracts love and chaos in equal measure. By the end of the hour, the hashtag half-dressed Kelly had trended worldwide. But the best moment came during the final seconds, as the closing music played. Kelly leaned toward Mark. Next time, we're taking the stairs. Mark shook his head. Next time, we're bringing dog treats. With a final wink at the camera, Kelly stood, one high heel clicking decisively while the sneaker squeaked beside it, as though each foot lived in its own sitcom. And thus ended the most chaotic, hilarious episode in the history of morning television. Proof that even at 9 a.m., even half-dressed, Kelly Ripa could still deliver a fully unforgettable show.